This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakar Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is Sirach 39 and 28. And it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, and you have a list here. The one that made them is Yahweh, and he created Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai created all these things for vengeance. All right, this is fire, hail, and famine, and death. All these were created for vengeance. And now, an example of that.
Situation in Colorado tonight as massive wildfires have burned hundreds of homes and businesses, injuring at least 6 people, forcing tens of thousands to flee their homes. The residents in the towns of Superior and Louisville, outside of Boulder, were told to evacuate earlier today without any notice. The flames quickly advanced this afternoon, driven by dry air and extremely high winds with hurricane-force gusts. The National Weather Service calling it, quote, a truly historic windstorm. The governor declared a state of emergency. Take a look at this video. This was taken from inside a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. As the fire advanced, it moved quickly on them. You could see the person coming outside to the smoke-filled parking lot, getting into a car to try to escape the flames. Right now, more than 30,000 people are fleeing those fires.
All right, so that's an example of the fire. It says, spirits created for vengeance, and fire is one of them. And he said, hail. All right, and all this is from this week. All right, so that was in Colorado, the wildfires. And now you have in Brazil, this happened the other day, a hailstorm.
On the eve, several natural disasters hit Brazil at once. This time, a terrible destructive hurricane hit the Brazilian city of Manaus in the state of Amazonas. The wind blew away everything in its path. The speed of the hurricane wind reached 76 kilometers per hour. The wind broke many trees and damaged the roofs of houses. The hurricane caused huge waves in the river, damaged many ships, and temporarily suspended shipping.
Said all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. And third, it is accepted as being self-evident. When it comes to the long ridiculed and violently opposed predictions of economic doom, we are in the 3rd stage of truth. As every day we see headlines stating that inflation is here to stay and global food prices are set to soar. Early reports are coming through that fertilizer shortages will put a crunch on next year's crop yield. In layman terms, this means less food. First,
all right, so those are 3 examples. Then you also have mass death happening around the world right now. What do you call the agenda that they're pushing with the mandates? And then you also have a lot of shootings and killings going on. All right. But Sirach 39 and 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, all right, and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. And that's what we're seeing. Matter of fact, check this one out, the teeth of wild beasts. All right, check this one out. This was a guy swimming, and he had an alligator swim real fast towards him and just took a bite out of him. So the Lord raising up these animals too. Watch this. Moving in fast on him. took a chunk out of his arm. All right. This one happened a couple years ago, but it's still a good example. And then another one happened here in Jacksonville. I think yesterday. The guy got his arm ripped off. I'm gonna play that video for you. Cause I guess it's a graphic video as far as the sound. But first I'm gonna play this video. This is a good example.
Dramatic video shows the moment before a deadly attack at a wildlife park in China. Now, some viewers may find this disturbing. A woman steps out of her car after reportedly arguing with her husband. And then look at that. A tiger grabs her, dragging her away. Her husband and her mother run after her. She survived, but then her mother was killed. The couple's child stayed in that vehicle and was not injured. Wow.
All right, you see the woman's mother was eaten up or ripped apart, while the woman got bitten up a little bit and got away, but she was in the middle of arguing with her husband. But this one right here happened, I think yesterday. All right, some idiot that was working at the zoo, what you would call the caddy shack, down in Florida, in the lower parts of Florida. Maintenance climbed over the gate in the middle of the night, went to the tiger habitat, and put his arm in there. See, the Most High, like, yeah, go ahead. All right, and he got his arm ripped off.
Tiger shot and killed at a Florida zoo after attacking a man who entered the animal's enclosure without authorization. That man now in the hospital dealing with pretty serious injuries. News Nation's Brian Enton is live in Miami. And Brian, we know the police are already defending the decision to shoot the tiger, but what do we know about this man? Is there
It's in Naples, Florida.
any chance he'll face charges?
It's possible, Rudabeh. We know that he is a member of a third-party cleaning crew at the zoo and that he actually put his hand inside the tiger enclosure. New today, there is a body camera video that has been released. We're going to show it to you, but a warning first. It is very graphic.
Oh, my God. You got a tranquilizer?
This is the moment police arrived and found a man's arm inside a tiger's mouth at the Naples Zoo. The tiger would not let go. We've blurred the video because it's so graphic.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh no!
Collier County, Florida Sheriff's deputy shot and killed the tiger.
Here's the tourniquet, bro. Let me grab him. Here. He was pulling him through right here. Jesus Christ. He had his arm in his mouth as I got here.
The zoo says the man was part of a third-party cleaning crew and put his hand into the cage, something no one should ever do. He was rushed to the hospital as a trauma patient. This is the 911 call the man made while he was being attacked.
Where exactly are you? Are you in the cage?
Yeah, no, I'm just outside of it. He's got my hand.
Okay. The tiger has your hand?
Ron McGill is a tiger expert at Zoo Miami.
The body camera video is so disturbing. It's so difficult to watch, but it indicates to me here that what happened was absolutely no fault of the tiger. It's obvious that this person breached more than one barrier to get to where he was.
The tiger killed was named Eco, an 8-year-old critically endangered Malayan tiger. There are fewer than 300 left in the entire world.
You can take an
All right, so that's an example, man, of what's going to be out here and what's happening. Sirach 39 and 29. It says what? Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth for wild beasts, scorpions, and serpents. All right, let's check that out. All right. They said this was like a biblical plague. It happened in Egypt last month.
Invasion in Egypt. It was accompanied by a fierce storm. It all happened in the city of Aswan, the largest city in southern Egypt. It was hit by heavy rain, thunder, and flash floods. This drove hundreds of scorpions out of their burrows into the homes of residents. The scorpions stung over 500 people. Now, we've come across stories of wild scorpion attacks, but 500 people getting stung in one night is unheard of. Egyptians are drawing all sorts of parallels. They're comparing it to the biblical plagues. Here's a report.
Egypt is a mysterious place. And no, the puzzling pyramids of Giza are not the only reason. What makes Egypt mysterious are also stories like these. 500 people getting stung by scorpions. This happened in Aswan, the largest city in southern Egypt. Last week, the city was hit by a fierce storm. There was heavy rain, thunder, and flash floods. It sent the people of Aswan scurrying for dry land from their mud brick houses. Awaiting them at home were some deadly guests. Hundreds, if not thousands, of fat-tailed scorpions with their tails full of toxic venom. They'd been swept from their desert burrows by the rains. They burst into homes through cracks in the walls. On Friday night alone, the scorpions stung a total of 503 people. All of them had to be treated with anti-venom. Some of them are still hospitalized with symptoms of fever, pain, sweating, muscle tremors, and diarrhea. As for the scorpions, they've disappeared back into their burrows. An estimated 31 species of them live in Egypt. This includes the Androctonus, which are thought to be the deadliest scorpions on Earth, and the so-called Death Stalker scorpions, which sting dozens of Egyptians each year. But 503 bites in one night is unheard of, that too on a day of incessant pouring. The news may sound like the story of a biblical plague, but it has a modern explanation.
All right, so he said the storms, the Lord, and you know the Lord controls the storms. All right, and they tried to run from the storm, then they ran into the house, and the most deadliest scorpions on the earth was waiting for them. All right, that's judgment. That's what the scriptures call the Lord the King of Terrors. All right, Sirach 39 and 30. Well, 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And those are sore strokes that the Lord is laying on these nations. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, man. And you got a lot of these rappers getting killed, killing each other with the sword. All right, and then also you have the missiles. All right, so it says what? They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So that's what's happening right now. And the Lord has said that. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 20. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. All right. So yeah, the Lord gonna raise up the animals, the birds. The scripture say that as well. That it's gonna be a feast for the birds, the fowls. All right. So yeah, man, they ran from the storm. They ran in the house and through the mud. And next thing you know, they got deadly poisonous scorpions waiting for him, or this guy working at night and he ran into a tiger. The tiger deceived him, looked all gentle. All right. And then you got the famine, and you got the fire, the Colorado fire that came they happened so unexpectedly. Everybody was forced to leave their houses, and they didn't even have time to leave. They were confronted by the tsunamis of fire as soon as they ran out the door. Chuck E. Cheese, you know. Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, right? Scripture say the Lord is the King of terrors, man. And to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. See, it's a parable. It's going to be as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So they're going to run from one danger into the next, another danger. Or went into the house and leaned on his wall and the serpent bit him. And what does a serpent deal with? Poison. So it's going to be the same way. That's how you know the Lord is controlling that. They were like running from one danger, then they run into the house and get destroyed by something else. So in this case, they ran into the house and got poisoned by scorpions. Or the woman jumped out the car and got snatched up by a tiger. Or that dude jumped in the water swimming and that gator got super speed, caught up to him, took a chunk out of him. All right. So yeah, these are fearful times we in. You know, great times for the elect. But it says here, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. It'll be some scary times. All right, but what did the Lord say? He said, the beast of the field shall be at league with thee. All right. The beast of the earth and the stones of the field shall be at league with thee, with the elect. You know, the Lord gonna give them the same ability that Noah had to be able to control the animals again. That's coming back. That's gonna be given back to the elect. And then right here it says what? 2nd Ezra 15:10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. All right, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Just like in ancient Egypt, there's going to be a delivery from the second Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, so this place is going to be smitten with plagues just like during the times of ancient Egypt. All right, actually the whole earth, the Lord bringing his judgment upon the whole world. All right, check this out. Isaiah 29:6, because you got the storms, the hail, the fire that broke out in Colorado. Isaiah 29:5, moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. Yea, it shall be at an instant suddenly. And that's what's coming, man. Sudden destruction upon these people. You know, upon the world. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise and with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And this is happening right now upon the earth. He said, what will I if it already be kindled? He already got that fire started, and that shows you his will, that he's showing up to destroy this place, right, and to destroy the wicked. All right. So, yeah, man, I just figured there was some interesting stories and that's been happening right now, and we're commanded to watch and to warn the people to repent, because the king of terrors is on his way, man, and he's visiting the earth. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom.